yeah, Asheville is basically like the city itself is very, very liberal, very, very left leaning, anarcho-communist, social justice, racial equity, LGBTQAI affirming and celebrating. Not just affirming, but celebrating. And the surrounding area on all sides is very, very red. It's very, very traditional, conservative, backwoods, white trash, mountain folk, you know, in all the best and worst ways. And so, at the same time, there's also a class of extremely rich people who own homes here that they live in for part of the year. Mm-hmm. Like either they winter down here because it's better than Canada or like up north, mm-hmm. or they summer up here and live further south in the winter. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, when I washed windows, I went into all these like rich people's houses and all of these giant mansions on the side of private mountains all over the place. And Black Mountain is one of those little towns that's kind of got the old nostalgic USA, like have the town has a big fair, you know, where for 4th of July and et cetera, mm-hmm. You know, nostalgic vibes.
And the neighbors care about one another and would support each other in hard times, probably.
Yeah, but that's, you know, I think for some people that's like
not a thought,
a shock, you know, like there's places like that, but that's generally been my experience in the South, you know, in Asheville and Savannah, that like when something bad happens, your physical neighbors actually do become pretty important people to you. Mm-hmm. Not to say that it always is like perfect or whatever, but that like the neighborliness that Jordan describes is not, I guess, surprising to me. Like, I think that part of why it's surprising to him is because he's from the West Coast and he's like a military kid, and so but like places where it's more common for the people who live there to have lived there for a long time and to live there kind of contra economic incentives, you know, like it makes more sense to live closer to a city in terms of job market, you know, everything. So if you live on the outskirts of a small city like Asheville, that's a pretty deliberate choice. And it's either because you can't move to the city, so like you don't have the kind of social competency or just regular competency to kind of figure out that advantageous move, or you don't want to, or you have the means of not needing to worry about the higher prices and lower opportunities. Like you can afford to drive to the airport or to drive to a private airport, and et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, I don't remember why we started talking about that, but
because Asheville might be a great place for the super cult.
For the super cult, yeah. Yeah.
Which, of course, you are wholeheartedly in support of.
Yeah, I'm in support of. I mean, what are we waiting on? Safety check.
Okay. Cool.
Let's take this puppy into warp speed.
It's almost like we are sharing body. The embodied behaviors. Amazing.
Alright, take a left at the intersection at the south side. Take a left. Hey, you guys just have loose stuff on your desk back there, and that doesn't.
Yeah, we actually probably didn't prepare to go, but We usually figure it out like within the first couple minutes.
Everything falls off.
Yeah, I'm working on ways of figuring that out. I think one of the things though is that while it remains like option level, I have pretty much complete freedom. As soon as it becomes my livelihood, then there's elements where I have to strain in some ways that are gonna have to do what needs to be done for money. So as much as I would prefer to spend my working hours making music, I also try and be ungrateful that I can just kind of do it when I want, how I want, exactly what I want.
I feel that.
But yeah, so this is more of the like commercial, one of the more commercial zones. But there's different commercial zones like all around the city. This is just one of them.
How's it in the winter time?
Cold. Snow. Yeah, very cold. Not very fun.
Might be under 30 minutes to get from our house to Black Mountain. It's a small town outside. It's really not that far. Like from downtown, it's like maybe 15-20 minutes. But yeah, this is the good view.
Oh.
And during the winter, it's even better because all the trees are empty and you can kind of see pretty far.
Ready every.
A decent view.
Yeah, a lot of times these houses will have like big telescopes or binoculars to like look down into the valley and like spy on the people. I suppose at this light we will officially be downtown.
Green light.
This is like a
Green light.
Yeah, those guys are like praying to the universe.
I'm gonna take you guys down to the river where you can see Blut Own.
But we begin tonight with the spiraling emergency after Hurricane Helene, the mounting death toll, at least 182 lives lost, hundreds still unaccounted for.
Asheville, North Carolina, that town is basically cut off from the rest of the state right now. Most of the city is totally submerged in water.
We have new video tonight of the raging river nearby, picking up a home right there, slamming it into a pile of debris. Dashcam footage capturing the moment a couple narrowly missed being swept away by this landslide. This is from the Blue Ridge Mountains.
The water levels in some spots are as high as street signs.
During the storm, people were like up on this bridge, but looking down at the water rise.
Neighborhoods here where people tell us this was worse than that flood of 100 years ago. That's right, that's the last time this region got hit with a flood this bad, 1916. Now, while there were other storms in this region that added some flooding here, they say it was nothing compared to this. A lot of people saying here, even though the city did give out fair warning, nothing could have prepared them for the level of devastation they are seeing here. A little context to all of this.
Yeah, this is where some of the worst damage was, as you can tell. Yeah. There used to be tons and tons and tons of antique bookings around here, but a lot of them were by the river, so there's not as many as there were. Like there's a ditch right there, but that ditch became a river during the flood.
But yeah, you can still see some of the stuff getting caught by the, like, can you see the pallets and stuff like that? And then there's some people just tubing, enjoying it.
So all this was like probably
Yeah.
getting messed with. You know?
All this was underwater. Yeah. Where the water was. Some of the like industrial stuff that was already by the river, like I was telling you guys about, in regards to the potential pollution. Like there was already all of this stuff. Stuff happened. There was some paint that said looters will be shot. No trespassers. There used to be a house there, and it's like they must have been stacking up the trees right here. Looks like my backyard.
A lot of stuff. Pretty crazy. That's a lot of stuff.
People lost everything, you know.
So what did people do to come and help you and help each other?
Oh,
The super cult.
For the super cult, yeah. Yeah.
Which, of course, you are wholeheartedly in support of.
Yeah, I'm in support of. I mean, I don't know if I would be the first nor the last to join.
No, yeah, we probably started recording too late to just like jump right into it, you know?
It's fine.
Yeah.
But as far as like a goal and a dream to work towards, I can certainly, I can empathize with it. I have had similar dreams myself. And I think I still hold out hope for some version of that. I think, but I also have not, there was a time in my life where I think that I felt more like you guys, where I was like, I'm going to like, by the power of my will, intellect, and problem solving capabilities.
Also grace.
And the grace of the Lord, for sure. And the grace of the Lord, I'm going to like achieve the good life, and solve the problems of modernity by simple living with people who I love and trust. And so I still hold out hope for that, but like...
Well, I don't know if that's exactly the characterization, like I'm not trying to necessarily save the whole world and such, like more so just, because it's also what kind of calls to me as like the best way.
It's not saving the world, it's solving the problems of the world. Like
at least for myself to some extent.
The problems the world is imposing, like this is what every kind of like small scope utopian vision is about, right? Like it's about solving particular problems that the world has shown to you, or else you wouldn't need to do it, right? You just keep doing. You'd go with the flow, right? Like there's something. You're doing it because you're seeing. I think that you're doing it because you see certain issues with the status quo, and certain problems arise from modern life, whether it be capitalism, the meaning crisis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you see real face-to-face, eye contact, embodied relationality as an answer to many of the problems posed by the world as it is right now.
Yeah.
And so to be in a community where that's practiced would be a dream, because then you could kind of slowly work on solving problems that come up to you.
I think we gotta prioritize it, otherwise we get sucked, into the machine, and we have a responsibility to set an example, and
I think there are I think that I would probably put it differently. I think that I would say that it's like going for it and prioritizing kind of innovation in these regards is like one helpful method. I think that there are a lot of different ways to kind of approach essentially living one's days out in a manner worthy of reward.
I'm not trying to cast shade at anyone who's not road tripping around the country.
Right. Maybe you should like, if you're not road tripping across the country, what are you doing?
No, there's other, it's that's the thing. It's like it's really not.
It seems to be a part of your mission.
It's not a huge
right?
utopian thing. It's as I was kind of joking. It's super cult is actually more so just trying to move out to somewhere that I would feel satisfied with. you know, like somewhere that's like, this is good, you know, because this is the one time in my life where maybe I have that kind of free choice, like of the different opportunities, you know, like I don't have to consider like a partner's perspective necessarily. Of course, you know, Joe and I are partners in this operation to some extent, you know,
partners in crime.
So, but you know, speaking for myself, I guess, you know, it's, I get to like confront the possibility space with big open, an open field of, an open array of options, as it were, and like, you know, it's not to cast shade at anyone who is renting, you know, but it's like, if I can, you know, like, I don't know, part of it is also just like my own obsessions and dispositions. It's like, I don't know, I couldn't have done the Amazon for much longer, you know, and like, after working all the jobs, I just like can't do it, you know, I can't bring myself to do it, and because it forsakes my other time doing things I want to do, like talking with my friends and YouTube stuff, and so I want to do something that allows me to, like, something that's in line with my vision, you know, as I think we all feel called to, you know, you're trying to figure out how you might do that in your own life as well, and so, yeah, it's like, it's also, you know, it's, I like to joke big about super cult and new communism and such, yeah, but, you know, yeah, I don't know, it's just,
well, yeah, I think
it's also small.
You described it well, like, you guys are kind of on a trip around to all the estuaries, so there is a sense in which, like,
yeah, because and that's one thing that
kind of testing the waters.
Yeah, and especially over the last couple stops in Frederick and at Joy's house, thinking about this idea of if there was an estuary in every city, you know, like maybe like if there's an estuary in every city, and maybe the people at that estuary live in the same neighborhood at least, let's say, then that's pretty damn good. That's like the parallel society, kind of the new culture, stealing the culture, as it were. And
well, honestly, what you're talking about to me is so funny because it just sounds like evangelism.
Yeah,
like,
we're evangelizing TLC.
Like a missionary, like wanting to plant churches.
Yeah, I mean, kind of trying to plant estuaries and TLC and such, the spirit of TLC, but, you know, which is actually a Christian spirit undercover or something, perhaps. But not really, you know, it's like a new, but yes, it is, but it's like new, but it's like a true Christianity or something, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's about persons, you know, or something.
Well, any true Christianity would have to first and foremost be about Christ.
Yes, but Christ as the Logos in all things.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem of Christianity, right? Like, its definition. That's, in many respects, not up for grab. You know, like, the battle lines of what Christianity is are pretty well drawn already. But that's not to say that there aren't room for Christianity to perhaps learn new lessons. Maybe the best way to put it. But I think that on the whole, my view is that the world is yet to have learned from Christianity's lessons, let alone Christianity's mistakes. Like, the world doesn't even really understand Christianity's mistakes because it's too busy making simple, stupid, obvious mistakes. So in general, I think, like, it's a weird position for the world to kind of critique the church, quote unquote.
Well, church,
but it's like an untapped. This is for me the problem of, like, quote unquote heresy, or like trying to, like, even Vervaeke's like religion that's not a religion, and it's also like the problem of cults too, like starting something just new. And, like, cults in the sense of, like, we have this new... It's almost like Gnosticism, right? Like, we have this new...
Well, let's use, like, Estuary and TLC as the kind of working example, you know?
Yeah, so for people who would want to say that, like...
Christianity is maybe taking on a new expression in a deeper, more...
I don't even know if I would say that Estuary So for one, I'm not sure that
It's
Estuary
like the early
is-
church, people meeting in their homes under the darkness of the cover of darkness.
Yeah, I mean, I see those kind of similarities, but I would be very cautious
Yeah,
in
I'm just-
making
I'm joking, yeah.
one-to-one comparisons because there's nothing inherently Christian about Estuary other than kind of allowing people to say what they think and to be honest and maybe express concerns or what they're thinking about. The kind of honoring of individuals.
Fellowship. Yeah.
The fellowship, but like the thing about fellowship is you can have fellowship while you're doing evil. You know, like you can be real good buddies that like to rob people.
Is
And
that
so,
true fellowship, or is that like a conspiracy or something? Yeah, I don't know.
it's fellowship. It's just pointed towards the wrong. It's
Yeah.
pointed towards the wrong end.
Yes, I suppose. But the fellowship of good faith, like treating each other as humans, like I think that's kind of a Christian thing to some extent. Like, yeah,
The problem is-
it is a dirty secret. Maybe I shouldn't speak so. Kind of giving the show away as to.
I don't even think it's not like I would actually argue that like there's nothing inherent. What I basically just said, that there's nothing inherently Christian about TLC or about. I have a different thought on TLC. I do think that there's something kind of latently Christian about TLC as a phenomenon.
Okay, yeah.
But in my mind, Estuary and TLC are connected, but not. That Venn diagram is not as.
Yeah, that's a good distinction perhaps.
Because that's what you guys are kind of finding out on the trip, right? It's like you guys have only
Yes.
met a few TLC people. You've met a lot of Estuary people.
Yes, that's a good point.
And so, Estuary to me is just a protocol. It's just like an activity. It's a similar to like a board game.
It's a techne, if you will.
Yeah, it's Techne. And TLC is engaged in a different type of Techne, and you know, with more experimental edges, public experimentation, which is its own kind of breed of expression. You know, artistic and
This
otherwise.
kind of reminds me of the thing we were saying about like comparing this super cult / moving out with friends idea to like a monastery, insofar as it would have to be open. Like TLC is a kind of a public thing. It's like it's not really a closed one. Have you heard? I'm not sure if I've. One way I like to describe TLC, the corner, is a corner of a room. If you take a look or something, 3 sides are totally open, and it's like the room. It's the space, and like but the other sides are kind of fixed and closed. So it's like people try and box in TLC.
We've all been in timeout, Jonathan. We know about corners.
Yeah, people try and box people like try and give it hard borders and edges, and like identify it as like a box.
Yeah.
And
Well, I definitely think you're right.
open.
I think you're right. I think that at the same time, there are some people, for good reasons, who would prefer it to be more closed and would prefer it to be more open. I know you in particular are on the more like open
I think we need
things.
the appropriate balance.
Sure. It's my thing is that it's like
Also, maybe
toes
we
are all over everything.
That's it. Also, maybe we
Your
need
hobbit feet are.
maybe we also mean different things about like closed and open, because I'm not usually one to like kind of like you said. I don't think excommunicating
let's have-
people.
Let's
Giant rainbow.
giant ass rainbow.
All day.
Well, you're gonna be surprised when you see all